Hey everyone, I am Sagan,
And I'm the Tesla.
and we are.
Oh! Shit! I see bad cameras.
We really put the poopy in spoopy.
That sounded insane.
Shocktober. As we go.
Sweet Jesus God.
Hey everyone, it's Sagan from Scientist Say, and welcome to today's Shocktober video. So, yeah, it's Saturday, and I'm gonna pick up with the And Then They Were None again. I felt like it was just starting to get good when we left off last time. So let's see if we can figure out what's going on here and how they've changed things from the original story. Okay, so when we last left off, Mrs. Rogers had collapsed, and we needed to go to the doctor's room to get his bag. I think this is his room?
I don't think going through that would help. Either he's innocent, in which case I'd be grossly invading his privacy, or he's guilty, and surely wouldn't be daft enough to leave any evidence in his luggage.
No, what was that? Oh. A bowl section of a pipe. But not the stems, so we're probably gonna have to make a pipe later. Okay, so this is not the right room then. I think this is the general's room. I haven't not memorized what room everybody was staying in. Oh, this is actually the back hallway. No, I'm pretty sure the doctor was upstairs. I think this is Anthony Marston's room. Yeah. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of mouse lag. Hopefully it's not causing any issues with the recording. Not really sure why I didn't have this problem last time. I think this might be the doctor's room here. Yeah. Where's this Vera's room? No, this is Blora's room. Damn it! I'll find it eventually. So, apparently I redlined the mic just now. Sorry about that.
It would certainly be noticed if I rifled through his luggage. I better not.
There we go. Cool. Let's see. I believe they said they were going to take her to the room next to the stairs, which is probably off the kitchen here. Okay, I'm definitely experiencing some lag I did not have last time. If this keeps up, I'll do a quick restart here. Need to remember I can double click to run. Yeah, that's what I thought. So they should be in here. Yes.
Perhaps we can talk later. For now, I must see to my patient. Perhaps we can talk later. For now, I must see to my patient.
Well, yeah, but maybe you want your bag?
That isn't going to help. Perhaps another time. Thank you, Mr. Narracott. I am in your debt. Perhaps we can talk later. For now, I must see to my patient.
Okay. This mouse lag is driving me nuts. So I'm going to actually, and I am sorry if I'm blowing the mic out. I don't know why it says it's redlining. It's not even that high. Anyway, I'm going to restart real quick. I'll be right back, Internet. Okay, and we're back, Internet. Yeah, massive improvement from the restart there. Don't know what was going on. Restart your computer more than once a month, and you probably won't have problems with retro games. Who knows? Okay, so moving on.
Perhaps we can talk later. For now, I must see to my patient.
Yeah, I heard this first like dozen times, asshole. Okay. Where are the rest of the guests?
Now, Rogers, tell us about that extraordinary voice.
It was Mr. Owen, sir. In his letter, he wrote to me to put it on the gramophone once you were all settled in here after dinner.
That was Mr. Owen's voice?
You doubt that it was?
No. I thought I recognized it. I'm sure I'm mistaken.
A disgraceful practical joke.
You think it was a joke?
What else could it be?
I will need to hear more evidence before offering an opinion.
Mr. Marston and I carried Mrs. Rogers to her room. I gave her a mild sedative. She's resting comfortably.
Whoever it was on that recording, that person knows or has taken the trouble to find out a good deal about us all. He was correct about Seton. I presided at the trial, but all I did was execute a guilty man.
I remember the case. As I recall, there was some talk.
Happily, guilt and innocence are decided by those of us qualified to make a judgment, not by gossip. Of course, there is one omission in that recording. Mr. Narracott, of course. Although to hear Mr. Blore tell it, he might have earned a place on that list had Mr. Owen been so inclined.
Any truth to the accusation against you? It's a matter of interpretation, you understand. But I'd have to say, yes.
Will you tell me how it happened?
Elderly woman. Poor devil. I'd been up all night with an emergency case. My nerves were shot, hands shaking.
But I had to operate. I had to try and save her. I had a pick-me-up or two to steady myself, but I bungled it. It wasn't the drink, I swear. It was an accident. Could have happened to anyone in my profession.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Owen sent me a note, asking me to have a look at his wife, who's been suffering from arthritis and muscle spasms.
What was the gossip concerning the Seaton case?
I'm not one to spread gossip to just anyone about a man as distinguished as Justice Wargrave. If I was certain about it, perhaps. But I'm not.
That is all for now, Dr. Armstrong. Any truth to the accusation against you?
The name sounded vaguely familiar. I expect it will come to me.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Got a wire from a pal of mine, Badger Barkley. Surprised me at the time because I had an idea the old horse had gone to Norway. Told me to roll up here.
Thanks, Marston. Any truth to the accusation against you?
It's true we were the only ones there the night Miss Brady died. But she was always in poor health. Always. From the time we came to her.
Will you tell me how it happened?
There was a storm, as fierce as the one brewing outside right now when she was taken bad. The telephone was out of order. I went for the doctor on foot, but he got there too late.
Were you mentioned in the will?
Barely. Certainly not what we were led to believe. She was just saying it, you see, to ensure our devotion to her. Beg pardon. I'm not sure what came over me just then. The strain of tonight, I expect, and worry over Mrs. Rogers, of course.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
We expected to finally meet Mr. and Mrs. Owen today. Ethel didn't want to take the job, but I insisted. I'm beginning to wish I'd listened to her.
Good evening, Mr. Rogers.
Mouse lag came back. I'm just gonna have to deal with it.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
I remember Seaton perfectly well. Playwright, charged with the murder of a chorus girl. He was found guilty, hung himself in his cell 3 days later, saved the Crown the expense of doing it for him.
I appreciate your candor, Judge. Any truth to the accusation against you?
About that child, Cyril Hamilton. I was nursery governess to him.
Will you tell me how it happened?
I'd like to tell you. Cyril was forbidden to swim out far. One day, my attention was distracted. I couldn't get there in time. It was awful. But it wasn't my fault. At the inquest, the coroner exonerated me. Oh, and his mother. She was so kind. If she didn't blame me, why should this awful thing be said?
Are you sure you're telling me everything?
I'm telling you all I'm going to, Mr. Narracott.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
I was engaged through the Skilled Women's Agency to be Mrs. Owen's personal secretary for the remainder of the summer. Then I hope to return to teaching.
A good evening to you, Miss Claythorne. Stay safe. Any truth to the accusation against you?
Fellow got hold of a detestable rumor, nothing more. Arthur Richmond was one of my officers. I sent him on a reconnaissance, he was killed. Natural course of events in wartime.
Thank you, General. Any truth to the accusation against you?
I admit it's a ghastly story, but I can't say it's wrong. Owen did his research well. The accusation is absolutely true.
Will you tell me how it happened?
Oh, it was written up in the papers at the time. A story of self-preservation, pure and simple. A hunting party lost in the bush. The great white hunter checks the food supplies, assesses his chances, and clears out on his own.
Leaving 21 men to die.
Not very Puka Sahib, I'm afraid.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Owen's attorney, a man named Archibald Morris, rang up one day. Wanted to give me 100 guineas to join this house party. I was to put myself at Owen's disposal in case my rather specialized talents were required.
What specialized talents would those be?
You might say I'm a good man in a scrap.
That'll be all, Mr. Lombard. Any truth to the accusation against you?
Beatrice Taylor was in service with me. Not a nice girl, as I found out too late. Loose. No morals whatsoever.
Will you tell me how it happened?
It was some time before I found out she was what they call in trouble. Her parents were decent folk, too. I'm glad to say they did not condone her behavior when I told them of it.
What happened to Beatrice?
Naturally, I did not keep her an hour under my roof. No one shall ever say that Emily Brent condoned immorality.
How did she die?
Not content with having one sin on her conscience, she committed a still graver sin. She took her own life, threw herself in the river. If she had behaved like a decent young woman, she'd be alive today.
You have no regrets?
She made an excellent breakfast. I miss that. Fresh juice every day.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
I received a letter with a signature that was not very easy to read. It purported to be from a woman I'd met at a certain summer resort 2 or 3 years ago. I am quite certain I have never met or become friendly with anyone of the name of Owen.
I overheard you mention St. Trednick to Miss Claythorne.
I was staying at a seaside hotel near St. Trednick this same week of August 4 years ago. That boy Cyril Hamilton drowned near there. It was the talk of the town. His half-brother was much older. Hugo, I think his name was. Cyril was a vile child, by all accounts, but first in line for the family title and estates. When he died, it all went to Hugo. He was just about Miss Claythorne's age. There was talk of something between them.
You're suggesting Vera let the boy drown so the man she loved could inherit?
That would be idle gossip. I don't indulge in idle gossip. I've only told you the facts of the case as I remember them.
Thank you, Miss Brent.
That is a bit of a jump to conclusion on our character's part, but that is also accurate to the story, so interesting.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
Look, Narracott, if that's what you want to call yourself. The rules have changed. Can't you see that? The past is past. It's the present we should be worrying about. Something is not right here.
Will you tell me how it happened?
All right. Perhaps I was doing the odd favor for the Purcells. But if your brother was framed, I had nothing to do with it. Yes, they paid me to perjure myself about Landor. Thanks to them, I was able to put enough away to set up my own detective agency. Nothing fancy, but I've been straight ever since, I swear.
Landor died.
He got penal servitude for life and died in Dartmoor a year later. Not my fault he was such a delicate man.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
I run a little detective agency in Plymouth these days. I'm on a job. To protect Mrs. Owen's jewels, the letter said. Mrs. Owen, my foot. I don't believe there's any such person.
Good evening, Mr. Blore.
Okay, well that's everybody in the house we've talked to, I believe. Oh, what's this now? Looks like we need a battery, perhaps? Got a turkey baster, but no battery. I'm guessing that's just an outlet there. Sorry about the mouse lag. I don't know why that's happening. I did not have this problem last time. I didn't even have this problem when I started the game. It just cropped up in the middle of nowhere.
I shouldn't do that. I need to have my wits about me.
But I can take the cocktail shaker.
I shouldn't do that. I need to have my wits about me.
Oh, go on. And the tumblers, apparently. 3 of them. How do I need 3 drink glasses for?
I don't need it. I'm no pack rat. No need to call unnecessary attention to my snooping.
Are you okay? Maybe I can go talk to Mrs. Rogers. Although probably not. Oh. I believe this is not a room I was in. Okay, so here's our map. Coast of Sticklehaven. Warning, strong currents make these waters unsafe for swimming. And then here's where we are. Shipwreck Island, and we're likely on this edge of it. Now the game is definitely like lagging all of a sudden, and I don't know why. Alright, so what is this ink stamp we found?
I see nothing remarkable. The drawer is locked.
Did I pick up a key anywhere? Probably not. No.
That looks like the jetty here on the island. He looks quite happy. She a little less so.
It's probably the
That
original.
looks like the jetty here on the island. He looks quite happy. She a little less so.
It's probably the original owners of the island. Alright, what do we have here? Book, A History of the South Devon Coast.
I transcribed the pertinent passages in my notebook.
History of the South Devon Coast. Fishing villages down at the south coast of Devon, tucked into bays and the protected mouths of the rivers. The rugged cliffs, pounded by heavy seas and skirted by treacherous currents, certainly have more than their share of shipwrecks over the centuries. Page 94. After 1815, soldiers returning from the Napoleonic Wars took up smuggling in the area. Shipwreck Island, due to its isolated nature, became a base for smuggling and wrecking operations. The gang of smugglers and wreckers lived in stone huts in a cove on the southwestern side of the island. There is rumored to be a system of natural caves that the gang used to store its plunder within. The gang, led by one Thomas Lawler, was eventually brought to account, and Lawler was hanged in 1812. Don't know if that will be relevant at all, but I guess we'll find out.
can't open it. It's locked.
Okay, let's go see if we can talk to Mrs. Rogers.
I have nothing more to say to her.
Well, I kind of don't know what I'm to do at this point. Talk to everybody in the house. Yeah, maybe I need to find the safe. I have no idea where that would be. Maybe in that fancy study I was just in.
It's a book holder. Seems like a long time since it's been used. A rather beautifully made globe of the world.
If I was the safe, where would I hide?
That looks like the jetty here on the island. He looks quite happy. She a little less so. Normally, I would never violate someone's privacy this way. However, given the circumstances, I will examine the entries for clues and transcribe any passages I find pertinent. I've already learned all I can.
Come on. Sorry, this mouse lag is really kind of messing me up here. This is Robson's diary. That's gonna be the guy that owned the island before. That whole section of the house isn't really important to me anymore. I rarely venture past the game room. Despite his feeble protests, I know he wouldn't really want me invading his private sector, but really, I could not find a more cliched way to conceal the secret passageway. I often wonder if Elmer has any sense at all. He might as well live at sea. It's the only place where he seems to control his faculties. Truly, the albatross is the most graceful bird in motion. Photographed does it absolutely no justice. Most other birds that turn up in this benighted fly speck of an island look completely absurd flitting about. I must get away from here. I feel cooped up. If Elmer doesn't change his ways, and soon, he may discover how like an albatross I can be. Elmer tried to get me on the schooner again this afternoon. I barely made it to the dock. It's absurd, really, but I feel as if the entire ocean were a gaping bottomless pit, and any boat, no matter how large or seaworthy, is still little more than a leaf capable of being sucked into a smothering darkness at any moment. Elmer can be stubborn, but at least he gives in to reason eventually. We are selling the house to Gabrielle Steele, the actress, and moving back to the mainland. Although I dread the ensuing trip across the channel, I told him I could certainly bear it knowing I never have to go near another island. Of course, it was just like Elmer to point out that England is an island. Very funny. I cannot say I'm much taken with Miss Steele. She sauntered through the house today as if she already owned it, practically ignoring us. She came with two small bookish men who followed her around like lapdogs. One of them was furiously taking notes as the diva dictated her grandiose plans for parts of the house, making no secret of her dislikes of certain aspects, my precious birds, and her ideas for remodeling. A screening room? I can imagine her spending countless hours watching her own films, basking in her own brilliance. So there's a secret passage somewhere. Probably in this room. Probably behind this bookshelf. But I don't see anything I can interact with on the shelf here.
The storm is kicking up something fierce. Besides, my time would be better used snooping around inside at the moment.
Okay, I probably need to find... Wait, what is this? Oh, return to author with... Oh, that's what the stamp is. Return to author with regrets. What have we here?
This could use a closer look.
Okay, Shipwreck Island. Orchard, apiary, garden, house. So the house is actually in the middle of the island. I assumed it was here at the summit. Grotto, jetty, ruined village. Huh. There's a ruined village out west. It might be something we want to look at later.
Let me examine this further.
Powerful friends. Want to shine some light on the matter? Flowery speeches may win you a few friends. UNON. God, this mouse lag is just killing me. It's like my DPI got, I don't know. What do we got here? Roll of sellotape. Okay, so we're definitely in England if they're calling it sellotape. But I don't have anything to tape back together yet. Alright, let's move on. I guess it's just my opportunity to snoop around the house some more. I never did get to, I think I did go through Blur's room, actually. Okay, so we might be looking for a painting of an albatross. If we're looking for a secret passage.
It's an albatross. I can't say I'm particularly fond of the painting. The subject matter doesn't interest me.
But that should be exactly what I do want to look at.
It's an albatross. I can't say I'm particularly fond of the painting. The subject matter doesn't interest me.
Hmm. Nope. Obviously, there's another albatross somewhere in the house.
It's a rather ostentatious painting. It's a rather ostentatious painting.
Okay, no other paintings in here. Couldn't really explore the kitchen before, so maybe
It's a sturdy cast iron stove.
maybe we'll find something in here.
I don't need it, and I'm no pack rat.
The hell did I just pick up? Cheese wheel covered in cheesecloth.
I see nothing remarkable.
The cheese, Gromit. The cheese. Oh, anything in the fridge?
The refrigerator hardly seems large enough for a house of this size.
Uh-oh. Wait, okay, we're good. I thought the game froze there. No, don't leave, damn it. Alright, doesn't seem to be anything to do in this bathroom, because I've already been in here. Okay, well, in the interest of speeding things up a little bit and not boring you guys, I'm going to take a quick peek at a guide and find out what I'm supposed to do next. So, I will be right back. Okay, Internet, I'm back. Actually, yeah, so I've done everything I was supposed to do. I just missed one thing, which I intended to do, but I could not find. I didn't see where it is. I needed to check the gramophone, which I intended to do if I could find a gramophone of the record. But I didn't see it. Apparently it's in the foyer, but it's like easy to miss. So I don't even see a gramophone in here. Also, it seems like an odd place for a gramophone. Unless it's here. Oh, pfft, it's right fucking there. But like, yeah, what a strange place for it.
Interesting history Shipwreck Island has. I'd studied up on it before I came down.
What are the names of those two people I'm accused of killing?
John and Lucy Combs. I made a note of it.
Must have been a couple of kids I ran over near Cambridge. Beastly bad luck.
For them or for you?
Well, I was thinking for me, but of course you're right, sir. It was damned bad luck on them. Of course it was a pure accident. They rushed out of some cottage or other. Beastly nuisance. English roads are hopeless, of course. Can't get up a decent pace on them. Well, anyway, it wasn't my fault. This man is dead.
You don't say.
Did Marston choke to death?
You can call it choking if you like. He died of asphyxiation right enough.
Was Marston poisoned?
Can't say exactly. Everything points to one of the cyanides. No distinctive smell of prussic acid. Probably potassium cyanide. It acts pretty well instantaneously.
Was there something in the whiskey?
Yes, without a doubt.
Do you think it was suicide?
Seems like it.
Could he have been murdered?
Not my line of country. I'm a doctor, not a detective.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Not I. Personally or professionally.
What do you think that record means?
A disgraceful and heartless practical joke, I suppose.
That is all for now, Dr. Armstrong. Do you think it was suicide?
You conduct yourself well, Mr. Narracott, if you don't mind my saying so. Mr. Blore has told us that you are not what you appear, yet you told him you were not a detective.
No, sir. But I've read many detective novels. I even had one of those junior detective kits when I was a boy. Magnifying glass.
I had one of those too.
Powder.
Junior detective kit? Wonderful. Ah, an amateur sleuth then. You appear to have something of a gift for it.
About the suicide, Judge.
I'm not yet prepared to offer an opinion.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
I knew his father, the Duke, and his elder brother. Like so many younger sons of his class, Anthony Marsden was a bit of a wastrel, as you will have gathered. There were other rumors of late, of his dabbling in politics, but this is not the proper forum for that discussion.
What do you think that record means?
May I answer that in a moment after asking a question of my own?
Of course.
Does anyone know Mr. Owen's full name?
My letter was signed only U.N. Owen.
Yes, U.N. Owen. Or, by a slight stretch of fancy, unknown.
Gasp.
I will now answer your question, Mr. Narracott. The name, the recording, the circumstances under which all but you were lured to this island. I have no doubt in my mind that we have been invited here by a madman. Very possibly a dangerous, homicidal lunatic.
Why did you retire, Judge?
I know there was talk about my competence, even my ego running wild. But the truth of it is very simple. My health. A lifetime sentencing my fellow man, and now a higher power has passed judgment on me.
Thank you kindly, Judge.
Okay, and with that, the first guest has died, and then there were 9. So, we're going to leave this one here. I think this has been a good length for today. I know a lot didn't happen until right up at the end there. It's just kind of the nature of this game. I'll definitely revisit at least once more in Shocktober, because a bunch more of these people are going to drop off if this follows the real story. So, hopefully my voice has been okay. I'm still seeing that red line. I will try to troubleshoot that if it's a problem in the editing. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, you stay classy, Internet.